So we've walked around your garden, we've walked around your house. You guys may take a look at our background here. We thought about it very carefully about how we could spiff it up and sit in the most beautiful place in her yard. But you know something? This is the coolest place in the yard. The breeze is gentle. And if you think about it, this is where things happen, is out here in this area. So we're not setting up a little fake kind of background for you. This is the world. This is the real world. This is where it happens. We're quite comfortable here. But I wanted to, we talked a little bit about your education in the Native American ways. And I know we're talking gardening here, and we're talking plants and food forest and provisions, but I'm going to have you slip in a little bit about the circle of life and how you think that relates to the world today, and where do you think we're going?
Well, I think in the world today there is a lot of awareness that people are coming to, that they need to grow their own food and know what they're eating. Mm-hmm. And to be able to do that, they need to respect Mother Earth. They need to respect the land. They need to respect the climate that they live in. I'm displaced here in the Southwest because I grew up in the Northwest, right on the edge of the rainforest. So I've had to relearn when I came here, and that's part of the cycle of life, is learning something new, always learning something new, and always learning it in a respectful way. So the plants that I grow here and the plants that I wildcraft here are a little different than what I grew up with. But it's a cycle because for many years, between the time that I grew up on a farm and learned from my elders the ways of Mother Earth, I lived in cities and I was a career woman. And now I'm coming back in my elder years to the land because I felt that calling and that pull. That's part of the cycle of life, of needing to return to the land. The land nurtures us. Everything that we are is contained in the earth, in Mother Earth. We are made of the soul and the substance of Mother Earth. Every vitamin, every mineral, every chemical in our body comes from Mother Earth. There's no denying that. Science has proved that. And if we do not respect Mother Earth and utilize Mother Earth in a respectful way, then we break the cycle of life. Mm-hmm. And we become lost, and spiritually, we're not happy. And you can look out in the world today and you can see all of the angry, unhappy people. It's reflected in our movies. It's reflected in the video games that our children play. It's reflected in the crime rate. It's reflected in world situations. And I think that people are beginning to realize we need to come back and be more independent and more respectful.
Right. I had shared, when I told people that I was going to interview you and your urban homestead, I had shared with them a walking staff that you made my sister, for my sister's passing. And that photograph showed things that we could not see with the naked eye. And some people have expressed interest in your walking staffs, and I thought I would have you bring them out. For those of you who have never seen one, you don't know what they are, or maybe you do and you would like to possess a walking staff that has been handcrafted by an individual who does respect the earth, who does respect Mother Nature. I'd like to show you one of the walking staffs that she has made, and if in the future you guys decide to get in touch with her, then you'll know where to go to have your own custom walking staff made.
So, a walking staff is a tool, and I am a medicine woman trained by my elders. So when I make a walking staff, I select the wood. This one is aspen, and I do not carve the wood or paint the wood. I peeled the bark off and it's been oiled because I can feel the life in this stick. It's the more that you say it, you use it to focus on your prayers. And the more that you use it, the more that you hold it, the more healings that you do with it, the more powerful the stick becomes. And that's why the staff for your sister was so powerful, that it showed things in the photographs that were not visible to the naked eye, because I had taken the stick and I had smudged it with sage. I had blessed it in a prayer circle. I made it specifically for her from the directions that she was giving me from the spirit world. And the staff was made to help her cross over. And immediately she talked to you through it. It was her staff, it was her design. This is my staff. It has an elk antler off of the only elk that I ever harvested. It has stones that represent the 4 directions and the healing stones. It has the black, white, and red that are for Mother Earth, Father Sky, and Great Spirit. And I've used this one several times. I used it in the scaffold ceremony for your sister. It was the first time I used this staff, and it's very powerful. You can feel the vibration in it. So I can make a staff specifically for someone, or I can just make a staff and then people like it. But they're all blessed, and they're all imprinted with peace, love, and harmony.
You got beautiful crystals on the top and some turquoise beads on the top.
And those are for healing, and a little bear fetish up here, because bear is my totem animal. The markings on the staff are made by nature. This scar here is where a deer or an elk chewed through the bark of the aspen tree, and it left a blaze that sunburned. And then these markings here are where the sap had to run around that scar. And then there's some holes in it from insect activity after it died. These spots here where there were little branches out. That's what the branches look like. This darkness here is the natural weathering after it died. I do not harvest live sticks.
Right.
I only take standing dead wood.
Okay, so there you go. If you've never seen a walking staff, or you don't know, you didn't know something about them, now you've got a little bit of input on that, and we know where to get them.
I do use my walking staff here on my urban stead. This is what I bless my ground with. I bring it with me when I say my prayer and ask Great Spirit to make it fertile. I bring my staff into my little artificial forest to say my prayers. And the length of the staff is just symbolic of reaching up to Great Spirit. So it is a very handy tool for me.